Slok 4th Guru. He within whom is spiritual ignorance and who has no faith in the true Guru, his understanding is rendered dim. He within whom is deceit thinks all deceitful, and by his deception he is utterly ruined. The true Guru's will does not come to his mind, and he wanders about for his own interest. If the Lord bestows his grace, then Nanak is absorbed in his name. Fourth Guru. The egocentric are engrossed in love of wealth, and because of another's love, their mind does not become steady. Day and night they ever continue burning, and by egoism they are ruined and bring ruin to others. In their mind is the pitch darkness of avarice, and none comes near them. They themselves are miserable and do not ever get peace. They die and continue coming and going. Nanak says the true Lord forgives those too if they attach their mind to Guru's feet. Pori, those saints and devotees become acceptable to the Lord whom he likes. Those persons are wise who meditate on the Lord. They feed on the food of the name nectar, the treasure of all the virtues. The dust of the feet of the holy persons they apply to their forehead. Nanak says they are rendered immaculate by bathing at the Lord's shrine. Slok 4th Guru. In the mind of the Guru Ward prevails peace, and his mind and body are absorbed in the Lord's name. He contemplates on the name, pursues the name, and with the name he remains attached in love. He obtains the treasure of the name, and his anxiety is all gone. By meeting the true Guru, the name arises, and his thirst and hunger are all removed. Nanak says by being imbued with the name, he puts the name in his mind by realization. Fourth Guru. He who is cursed by the omnipotent true Guru leaves his home and ever wanders about. He is followed by jeers, and his face is blackened in the world hereafter. Incoherent words come out from his mouth, and he dies spitting forth spume from his mouth. What can anybody's effort avail when from primal time such are his regarded deeds? Wherever he goes, there he is proved a liar, and nobody likes his telling of falsehood. O brethren and saints, see this greatness of God our Lord. As are any one's deeds, so does he receive. This shall be the Lord's reckoning at the true court. Slave Nanak relates and proclaims this to you. Ori, the true Guru has established the village and has appointed a guard as well. My desire is fulfilled, and my mind is imbued with the love of the Guru's feet. Greatly merciful is my Guru, who has effaced all my demerits. Showering his grace, the Guru has made me his own. Nanak is ever a sacrifice unto Guru, who has no many merits. Slok 1st Guru. By his command we receive what is recorded for us. O Pandit, what can we do now? When the Lord's command is received, then everything is decided, and men move and act accordingly. Second Guru. The nose string of the people is in the Master's hands, and men move on by their own acts. Whithersoever is man's feed, thither he goes to eat. Nanak says, this alone is the only sure truth. Pori, the Lord himself puts everything in its proper place, himself creating the creation, himself destroys it, fashioning the creatures himself, he himself nourishes them. His servants he hugs to his bosom and makes them happy with his gracious glance. Nanak says his devotees are ever in bliss, the love of another they consign to fire. Slok 3rd Guru. O myself, lovingly contemplate thou the beloved Lord with single-mindedness and rapt attention. Imperishable and everlasting are the God's glories, and he regrets not what he gives. I am ever a sacrifice unto God, by serving whom peace is attained. Nanak says the Guru wards, by burning their ego with the name, remain merged in the Lord. Third Guru. The Lord himself engages men in his service and himself rewards them. He himself is the father and mother of all, and himself he takes care of them. Nanak says they who contemplate the name dwell in their own home and are honored through all the ages. Pori, Thou, O Creator, art almighty to do and get done all the deeds. Without thee, I have none else. Thou thyself hast created the world, and thyself shall ultimately destroy it. Thy word, the command, alone prevails everywhere, and whatever thou does, that alone happens. By Guru's guidance, the Lord blesses man with glory, and then he obtains the Lord. By Guru's grace, Nanak meditates on the Lord. Let all repeat, Hail, Hail, Hail to the Guru. Rag Sorat, hymns of Saint Reverend Kabir. Kar first, the creator of all is one, the only one. He is realized by true Guru's grace. The Hindus die worshipping and worshipping the idols, and the Muslims die bowing their heads. The former burn the dead and the later bury them. Neither of two find thy real state, O Lord. O my mind, the world is a blind deep pit. On all the four sides, the death's net is spread. The poets die repeatedly reciting poems, and the ascetics in tatters going to Kedarnath. The mystic die raising and wearing the matted hair, but they do not know thy state, O Lord. The kings die hoarding and amassing wealth and burying heavy loads of gold in earth. The Pandits die reading and reciting Vedas, and the women by seeing and admiring their beauty. Without the Lord's name, all are ruined. See and ascertain this, O man. Without the name of God, who has ever obtained salvation, says Kabir in his message. When the body is burnt, it becomes ashes. If something remains, an army of worms eats it. An unbaked earthen pitcher breaks when water is put into it. Such is the worth of this body. Why dost thou go about puffed up in pride? How hast thou forgotten the days when thou didst remain hanging with thy face downwards for 10 months? As the bee collects honey, so does the fool amass and gather wealth with zest. At the time of death, all shout, take him away. Why allow a ghost to remain? His wedded wife accompanies him to the threshold, and onwards his good friends. All the people and relatives go as far as the cremation ground, and thereafter the swan soul departs all alone. Kabir says, O mortal, thou art seized by death and hast fallen into the blind well. Thou hast entangled themselves with false wealth like the parrot misled into the reed trap. Listening to all the teachings of Vedas and Puranas, I also desired to perform ritual actions. But seeing all the wise men seized by death, I arose and came away from the Pandit, getting rid of this desire. O my mind, thou hast not accomplished thy own task. Thou hast not contemplated on Lord, the king. Going to the forest region, the men practice yoga and penance and live on picked up fruits and roots. The pipers, the reciters of Vedas, the men of one word, the silence lovers are all enrolled in death's registered. The loving service, like that of Narad, does not enter man's mind. Pampering and adorning his body, the man gives it to death. He is singing insincerely and hypocritically, professing love for the Lord. What can he obtain from God? Death has fallen on the whole world. The doubting scholars are also recorded in that register. Kabir says the persons who imbibe God's love and devotion become pure. Kar second, with both the eyes of mine I look around, but I see not any but God. My eyes lovingly gaze on him. Now no other subject can be mentioned. When my mind is attached with the Lord's name, my doubt has been removed and my fear has fled away. When the juggler beats his hand tabor, the whole public turns it to see the play. When the juggler winds up his play, then his revelment he enjoys all alone. By mere chatter, the doubt is not removed. By telling and discoursing, the whole people have grown weary. He to whom the Lord reveals himself by guidance of the Guru in the mind, he remains absorbed. When the Guru shows even a little of kindness, the body, mind, and self are all merged in God. Kabir says, I am imbued with the Lord's love and I have met the beneficent God, the life of the world. He in whose home the sacred books are the milk products and the mind ocean is the vessel to churn, be thou the milk churner of that Lord. Why shall then the Lord refuse the buttermilk? O handmaiden, why don't you make God thy spouse? He is the life of the world and the support of the life. On thy neck is the collar, and on thy feet the fetters. The omnipresent Lord has sent thee wandering from house to house. Even now thou dost not contemplate the Lord, O maid, thou wretched maid are watched by death. The Lord is the doer and the prompter. What lies in the hand of the poor handmaiden? She, yes, she alone awakes whom the Lord awakens. To whatever the Lord attaches her, to that she is attached. O maid, wherefrom hast thou attained that wisdom wherewith thou hast erased the line of doubt? That elixir Kabir has realized, and by Guru's grace, his mind is fixed in the faith on the Lord. When God, without whom man cannot live, is attained, then is his service fulfilled. People call it good thing to live forever, but without dying to the world, true life is not found. Now, what sort of realization be expressed? As I look on, the worldly things are passing away. As saffron of realization in sandalwood, paste of the worldly awareness is mingled, then without physical eyes, the reality of the universe is beheld. The Son has given birth to the Father. Without a sight, the city is established. A beggar has found the bestower. He has given so much that it cannot be eaten. I cannot leave it, and it does not exhaust. My going to others for begging has ended. He who knows how to die in life, that person enjoys a mountain of bliss. Kabir has obtained that wealth, and by meeting God, he has effaced his self conceit. What avails it to read, what to reflect, and what good to hear the Vedas and Puranas? What good reading and listening if the realization of the God is not attained? The thoughtless one does not contemplate on the Lord's name, then what is it that he deliberates upon over and over again?